He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke.
Alright, welcome back to part 2 of the user's guide to Bastion with me, Xian. And I've just remembered that this isn't the Bastion section just yet. I've got another level to get through before I get there. So I'll show you this level along with the breaker's bow here, the things you can do with that. And then in part 3 we'll look at the Bastion. But for the time being, we're going to check out the breaker's bow and show you what this thing can do. So this weapon is pretty badass. Notice that it's now replaced my Fang Repeater, aka Fang Reaper I like to call it. It's pretty much replaced my rapid fire weapon. So I've still got my hammer, but it's still going to be replacing my other weapon. So you're going to have two weapons at the same time, one melee and one range. So my breaker's bow is now in use of my right click, like so. And the longer I hold it down, the more power you get in your bow. Again, this is with all the upgrades, so the bow is going to be pretty powerful now, a lot more powerful than you will get in your first time you play.
Kid Spy's a good perch for some target practice.
Alright, these are some turrets coming up, which are all going to be trying to shoot my face off. So, right, a good thing for turrets before they shoot down the wall, like I already have. If you don't want to like I told you earlier, if you don't want to deflect the attack, which I'll show you an example of now.
Right back at you.
And yeah, you can destroy them with their own bullets, which is really handy. But if you want to check out the breaker's bow abilities, hold down shift so you've got your aim with your shield or behind your shield, and then once you're not in the line of fire, you move out the way a little bit, get into a comfortable position, and you hold down right click until you've got a strong enough attack, and you shoot. But remember to keep hold down of shift, like so.
The kid could loosen
and you take out a turret. But remember to keep holding down shift, because then as soon as you finish attacking, you'll go straight back into defense, so you won't take any damage, or you shouldn't do anyway, depending on the timing of the bullets. So yeah, we've got full health still. We don't need to fill up from the fountain. Okay, let's go check out down here. Right. Okay, this is something else important. Whenever you see these little things, little sparkly bits and pieces of items, they're not items, they're little upgrades. They're basically bits of material that you pick up to help upgrade different weapons. Now when you're back at the Bastion, there'll be certain buildings that will help you upgrade and do different things. Now one of them is the sort of like, what's it called? The sort of place where you smith things and you basically smelt stuff, and I can't think of the name. It's like a workshop for your weapons, like a bit like an armory, but it basically is like a weapon upgrade building. And yeah, the more of these things that you've got, then the better, because then the more things you can upgrade once you've got the money or the shards. Now this one in particular, something stringy, they all have different names. Something stringy upgrades your breaker's bow.
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
So each time you get a piece of that allows you to have one upgrade per item, per string. These, hang on. Oh. Damn it. Dead. Right, so notice that when you get to certain parts of the level, there'll be lots of holes in your walkway. Now, don't be afraid about falling off, because
the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
Yeah. Turrets are never sympathetic. They are 99.9% of the time trying to blast your bowels out of your back. They're not nice. Yeah, they're trying to cook you whilst you're alive. It's grim, basically. Yes, what I was saying is the walkways that you're walking around on, like such as this, make sure that you don't fall off. Even if you do, which you probably will do, I have plenty enough. Even when you do, it's not the end of the world. You won't automatically die. You pretty much fall off, and then you land back in the same spot or a near enough spot to where you fell off, like so.
And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
Yeah, the narrator does a little bit of a joke at that to start off with, not to be a spoiler there. Sorry if I've spoiled the joke on the game, but yeah, he says that the first time you fall off, and it kind of makes your heart sink and think, oh crap, I've already died. But don't worry about it. The more times you fall off, it doesn't matter.
Watch your step.
It just says watch your step, and you just fall flat on your face, and you're back on the runway. And as the game goes along, the more stuff like this happens, the more runways are all rickety and start falling apart, and the more you fall off. So don't worry about it. Happens to the best of us. Would you stop tuning me? Best way to get rid of turrets that are more distant from you, if you can't be asked to use a range weapon and you can't reach them with melee, and you're irritated about being attacked in between the time it takes to recharge your range weapon, then the best way is probably to train up your skills on how to deflect, because it really is the easiest way once you get the hang of it. Right, okay, now this little hovering book is another very important thing. Whenever you see one of these, they're very rare, but they're also very important and very useful. They're basically special abilities that you can use with certain weapons. This one is for the hammer, and as you may have guessed from the name, it is pretty much a whirlwind ability where you spin around, killing everything in about sort of 3 or 4 seconds. I'm going to demonstrate this in a second. After I picked it up.
Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome.
Once you've read the book and collected it, you pretty much know it forever. You don't need to do anything else with it. Once you've got the book, you've got the book. You don't have to worry about finding another one of the same type. Notice this black potion against the healing one. This black potion is your recharge points for your special ability. So I'm going to go and do the special ability up here by pressing Q. And that, by doing that, it's killed some of my enemies, as well as... Hang on a sec. Don't kill me. And go away. Alright. Notice that... What was I saying? Can't remember now. Oh yes, the Whirlwind ability. Notice that one of my black potions is now gone now that I've used that at once. Every time you collect a potion, that counts as one potion, so it adds on the little counters up here. So make sure that if you like using a special ability quite a fair bit, make sure that you keep an eye on your black potions.
He finds the distillery right next to the arsenal.
Right.
Tough part of town.
Okay, this is another section I'm going to talk to you about. This is the distillery, and this is the arsenal.